Hello, my name is Laurie Paul, and I'm a teacher at Lost Mountain Middle School, and today I will be talking to the math department about data overview. The purpose of this presentation is to review the demographic data at Lost Mountain Middle School in the past 3 years, to review the CCRPI for Lost Mountain Middle School compared to the Cobb County School District, review milestone data in math in the last 3 years, discuss strengths and weaknesses within the school, and establish some short-term goals within the math classroom. Enrollment of Lost Mountain Middle School. In the school year of 2014-15, there were 1,064 students. In the 2015-16 school year, 1,092 students, and the same amount of students in the 2016-17 school year at 1,092. So as you can see, we've had quite the gain from 2014-15 to 2015-16, but that we are fairly stable, actually at the same average for the 2016-17 school year so far. If you look at the past 3 years for our neighboring middle schools, we have Durham Middle School, which is in blue. We have McClure Middle School, which is in yellow, and Lost Mountain Middle School, which is in green. As you can see, we have a few more students than Durham Middle School, but we have a few less students than McClure Middle School, and all of these schools are right around 5 or 6 miles apart from each other. If you look down at the student ethnic breakdown of our students, 73% of our students at Lost Mountain are Caucasian, 16% African American, 6% Hispanic, 3% multiracial, and 2% Asian. If you look at our enrollment, including special education students, you will see in the 2014-15 school year that 127 of the 1,064 total students were special education students. In 2015-16, 131 special ed students in the 1,092 student population, and the same number in 2016 and 17. As you can see, that's roughly about a 12% population of our special education students within the whole enrollment of the school. Breaking down the percent of our students with disabilities population, we can see here that 6% of our students are dually served as gifted students. We have 2.3% of our students that are visually impaired, 7.6% of our students that are speech impaired, other health impairments 27.4%, moderately intellectually disabled 2.3%, mildly intellectually disabled at 1.5%, learning disabled at 46.6%, hearing impaired at 0.7%, emotional behavior disorder at 4.5%, blind 0.7%, and autism at 6.8%. So our learning disabled students do make up almost half of the students with disabilities population. Looking at our economically disadvantaged students, you can see that our Asian students make up 3% of our economically disadvantaged students. African Americans, 43% of our economically disadvantaged students. 34% of our Caucasian students are economically disadvantaged. 13% of our Hispanic students and 7% of our multiracial students are economically disadvantaged. For our gifted population, our ethnic breakdown, we have 5% of Asian students are gifted, 9% of African Americans, 79% of our Caucasian students are gifted, 4% of Hispanic students, and 4% of multiracial students. Because our Caucasian students make up the largest population of our school, we can see that they certainly do have more of more in our gifted program. If you break down our gifted program by gender, you can see that there are more male gifted students than there are females. If you look at our absences over the last 3 years, you can see that 63.7% in this in 2015 and 16 were absent 5 or fewer days. 31% were absent 6 to 15 days, and then only 5.1% were absent more than 15 days. In 2014, 60% of our students were absent less than 5 or fewer days. 34% absent 6 to 15 days, and 5.3% more than 15 days. And back in 2013, 64% of our students were absent 5 or fewer days. 31.6% of our students were absent 6 to 15 days, and then 4.2% of our students were absent more than 15 days. Looking at our attendance for our economically disadvantaged students versus our non-economically disadvantaged students, you can see that our students who are economically disadvantaged versus our non-economically disadvantaged were pretty much the same numbers across the board in absences. So there really wasn't a difference in absences for our economically disadvantaged students versus our non-economically disadvantaged students. Currently at Lost Mountain Middle School, there are 58 full-time teachers with one half-time position. And if you look at the ethnic breakdown, 83% of our teachers are Caucasian, 6% are African American, 8% are Hispanic, multiracial 2%, and Asian at 1%. If you look at the years of experience for our teachers, 8% of our teachers have less than 1 year experience. 40% of our teachers have 1 to 10 years experience. 38% have 11 to 20 years experience. 13% have 21 to 30 years, and 1% of our teachers have over 30 years experience. So most of our teachers lie between the 1 and 10 years, with the 11 to 20 years very close behind. The certificates that our teachers hold in our school, 44% of our students have a bachelor's degree, 38% have a master's degree, 16% have a specialist degree, and 2% have a doctoral degree. If you look at our CCRPI scores for Lost Mountain Middle School compared to the county, you will see that Lost Mountain Middle School performs much higher than the county average. In 2015 was 87.2, 2016 87.2, and then in 2017 the CCRPI score for Lost Mountain was 93.9. Whereas over the county in 2015 it was 78.8, 2016 79.4, and 2017 81.4. Looking at the levels of the milestones, the students can score from level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4. Level 1 is the beginning learners. That means they have not demonstrated proficiency and they need substantial academic support to be prepared for the next grade level. Developing learners have partial proficiency, but they still need a lot of additional economic support. Proficient learners demonstrate proficiency. They are prepared, they are ready to go to the next level or the next grade. And our distinguished learners are those that are advanced. They are well prepared to go to the next grade level. Looking at our mean math scores over the last 3 years compared to the district and the state, as you can see, Lost Mountain Middle School performs very well. In 2015, the mean score for Lost Mountain Math was 536.7 compared to Cobb County with 524.5 and the state at 512.3. 2016, we climbed higher to 549.1, where the state was at 524.8, and Cobb County was at 524.8, and the state was at 513.3. And then we came up just a little bit higher last year in 2017 with the mean score of 550.2, with Cobb County at 527.4, and then the state at 514. If you look at the milestone results by levels in just 2017, you'll see that with our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, the proficiency levels. So as you can see, in 6th grade, there's 5% on level 1, 7% in 8th grade, and 4% in 8th grade. 6th grade level 2 was 27%, 7th grade 22%, and 8th grade 33%. Level 3 was 48% in 6th grade, 34% in 7th grade, and 8th grade at 39%. And then we have the level 4s, those advanced learners, 73% of 6th grade students, 37% of 7th, and 24% of 8th. If you look at our milestone scores for the economically disadvantaged, you can see that our economically disadvantaged students in level 1 was 9%, level 2 32%, 44% in level 3, and 15% in level 4. Each year, Lost Mountain Middle School has students complete a math inventory to see where they are, whether they are below basic on their math, basic, proficient, or advanced. And for 2016, the 84% of 84 students in the 6th grade were below basic, 68 7th graders, and 99 8th graders. The basic level in 6th grade was 126, 96 in 7th grade, and 98 in 8th grade. Proficient in 6th grade was 169. Proficient was 146 in 7th grade, and 8th grade at 127. And the advanced category for 6th grade was 22 students, 7th grade 70 students, and 8th grade 57 students. So next steps. Our strengths at Lost Mountain is that our scores in math are higher than the state and the district. So what are we doing to ensure these scores each year? And 6th and 7th grade students, math levels 3 and 4 are very high. So what are these 6th and 7th grade teachers doing in their math classrooms to get these 3 and 4 levels? And then our level 1s across all grade levels are below 10%. So that is certainly a strength for us. Our weaknesses. The math grade level 4 is the lowest of all the math levels. So what can we do? What can we be thinking about to move our students from those level 3s to those level 4s? And if we look at our economically disadvantaged students, they are the highest in the developing learner category. So what programs can we put together to offer these economically disadvantaged students to move to proficient? And then we have high numbers of students in the below basic and basic levels of the math inventory. So what are some strategies that we can be thinking about that we can put in place to move these students to those proficient levels in the math inventory as well? So looking over this data, for this data overview with the math department, what are our next steps? What are we going to do? What are the things that we're going to put in place to make our students more successful in these categories?